Everyone needs a good breakfast. Made in the morning stays crunchy, even in milk.
So it is Made in the Morning here on Alive 107.3. Lee with you right the way through until 9 o'clock this morning. Getting very, very excited. You know why? Friday nights means it's another episode of Impact Plus action as new wrestling action hits us each and every week. And it's not just Impact Plus. You can catch it on, of course. You can also see it on DAZN 1 here in the UK. That's Sky Channel 529. And it's already landed on YouTube for Ultimate Insiders. And as we get closer and closer to the end of Impact Wrestling, the final event comes your way next week, aptly titled Final Resolution, Saturday, December 9th, exclusively live on Impact Plus and Fight TV. Lots happening heading into that one. The Motor City Machine Guns taking on Josh Alexander at the Walking Weapon and Zack Sabre Jr. The digital media title on the line. Champion Tommy Dreamer defends against Dina. And more matches, of course, being announced each and every day at impactwrestling.com. And fingers crossed, we get to see a Final Resolution appearance by my guest at this time. I'm delighted to be joined by the Quintessential Diva, Gisele Shaw. Good morning, Gisele.
Good morning. How are you, darling?
I'm fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us here on Alive 107.3. I know you are much in demand by the media.
Oh. Well, thank you so much. No, you know what? I'm so happy to be here, and I'm just excited to be chatting to you as well. And I'm going to give you a little something, actually, a little breaking news, because my match actually got announced for Final Resolution on December 9th at the Don Cullen Arena in Toronto. And it's going to be me and Deonna Purrazzo versus Trinity and Jordan Grace. Bam! Mic drop.
There we go. You heard it here on Alive 107.3. What a way to round out 2023. What a way. I mean, let's talk about 2023 if we can, Gisele, because it's about this time of year everybody starts to look back on what an amazing year it's been. They start to compile top fives, top 10 lists, that sort of thing. And I thought, if it's all right, I've put together some of my top 5 moments for Impact Wrestling in 2023. And I thought, who better to discuss these with than somebody that's right there in the heart of the action, yourself.
Oh, okay.
Are you cool for this?
Of course. Let's go.
So let's go. Number 5 on my list, and it's actually an appearance by yourself. It's your alliance with Evans and Jay Vidal. Now, this really kicked off back at the start of this calendar year. And as a fan, it's been great to watch the chemistry between you three develop. There's something magical when you three are on screen together, not only in the ring, but, and I'm going to say this, and I hope you understand the way I mean it, that it's like watching the beautiful people back in peak TNA back in the day. It's must-watch TV when you three are together, either in the ring or backstage. How have you found the chemistry develop between you three? How did you get together? Was this organic? Was this something that was suggested by the office, so to speak?
You know what? First and foremost, thank you so much for comparing us to the beautiful people, because they are amazing. You know, such legends in TNA, and just to be compared to them, it's just like, well, that's insane. Or even just to be in the same, sentence as them. But yeah, so I think so it was actually Jay and myself that started, and I think it was in Vegas. And I think, I'm not sure if it was like a trial thing or whatever, but we just had such a great chemistry. And then they go, you know what? Let's make it happen. And with Savannah as well. I think with Tasha was supposed to be in it, but then Tasha, took some time off. So Savannah was in our group. And I think just the three of us really trying to make everything work and making sure that we, what's the word that I'm looking for here? We just maximize every single time that we have an opportunity, whether it's backstage or in ring or whatever. It's just, yeah, it's really fun working with them. And I think we've just grown not only as an individual, but also as a team.
What has been really nice is the the comedic performances as such that have grown and really come out of the three of you. Obviously, I was lucky enough to be in Cicero for Bound for Glory, and also in the Call Your Shot
Yeah.
gauntlet match, where you were in, you were out, you got the makeup done up on the side of the ring. Watching was absolutely amazing. And again,
Thank
that's
you.
some skills to be able to get your makeup touched up and then get back into the ring.
Well, you
And
know, I have Jay Vidal to thank for that because that was his idea, and I'm gonna give credit where it's due. And I thought that we really felt like, oh my god, like that would be really funny and like a moment and stuff as well. So yeah, it worked out. People talked about it, and it's kind of funny that you brought it up. So yay, Jay.
the other thing I was going to say is obviously this past week, Thanksgiving special for Impact. Of
Yes.
course, we saw the return of the Turkey Bowl, and it wasn't good for Jay. It wasn't good for Jay.
No.
But we know he is a style icon. He has got a rather
After
amazing
me.
after you. I mean, you're up here, and then there's Jay Vidal, and then there's other people down there. But you know what I'm thinking is, how did he actually? He threw a hissy fit. Let's be honest, when we saw him in the ring, but I mean,
Mhm.
how long did it take him to get out of that funk when he came backstage?
I mean, knowing Jay, he probably just loved it, secretly, and he's probably just like, "Oh, I don't like this," but I'm pretty sure he loved it a lot, and I think we had such a great time out there, and it's either put the turkey suit on or leave Impact Wrestling, and I don't think we want Jay to be leaving Impact Wrestling, so we had to force him in that suit.
Like I said, the three of you have been absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to see what you get up to in
Thank you.
2024. That brings us to number 4 on our list. Is as amazing a year as the three of you have had, there's been, I think, a true breakout star for me in Impact Wrestling this year, and that is Joe Hendry. I mean,
Hey.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yes,
Uh,
we
and I,
believe. We believe. Oh wait, no, is he here?
when you look at the rise that Joe has had in the past year, uh, how how has that been viewed within the company? Obviously, he's the longest reigning digital media champion. He's been
Mhm,
instrumental in bringing TNA Impact Wrestling back here to the UK in 2024, and he just
mhm.
for me seems like to be the on the cusp of greatness. I can see a world title in Joe Henry's future in 2024. What's Joe like to work with in the locker room? What's he been like on the UK tour, and where do you think Joe's going to go next year?
That's really funny that you asked me that question because Joe and I are actually really, really good friends. Um, but like I mean, like it's a whole story about like the first time that we met because he wasn't very nice to me. I think it's just because
Do
I
you
don't
mean?
think he was
What do you
very
mean? It's Joe Hendry. He's got to be nice to everyone.
No, I think that because I was so nice to him that he was like, okay, like that's kind of weird. Like no one's that nice, and so it kind of threw him off a little bit. But after that, he was just like, oh wow, like you're actually really nice. I'm like, yeah, and we clicked. And it just so happens too, actually, that we were both kind of like wearing the exact same thing. Again, his European, I love European fashion. So I was like, you know what? Like 10 points for Joe Hendry for showing up to work today and looking like a star. But no, I think he's so wonderful and the opportunity that he's had at Impact Wrestling, he's just taking the ball and run with it. And um I really can't wait to see what's next for him. And I don't want to be like, oh, I see you in this or something or whatever, because it's wrestling, things happen. And um it's nice to be hopeful, but you just never know what's going to come. But I do, I do wish the best thing for him because, first of all, he's my friend. And second of all, he's marvelous and entertaining. And yeah, let's go, Joe.
Let's go, Joe. We cannot wait to see what happens with Joe Hendry in 2024. But for me, one of the massive highlights in 2023 sits at number 3 in my list of top 5 moments. It was a night that everything just lined up and stars came back and knockouts were revisiting the Impact Zone. We're talking, of course, about Impact 1000. Even talking about it just now, I'm getting goosebumps. It seemed to be an amazing event, celebrating Impact Wrestling's 1000th episode. I was delighted. I was ecstatic to see the return of the beautiful people to an Impact Wrestling ring. And I have to admit, hand on heart, they were the wallpaper on my laptop for a long, long time growing up. So I was delighted to see them back in the ring, back where they belong. We've already touched on them very briefly, but what was it like for you to be part of Team Beautiful People and stand with so many people in there, including Awesome Kong and Mickey James, and people that had defined the knockouts division and really paved the way for performers like yourself?
Well, it wasn't like Team Beautiful People. It was like Team Gisele Shaw. But no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It was so surreal. It was just so crazy because I watched these legends growing up and not really knowing that I'm going to end up being a pro wrestler, let alone like share the ring with them. So I was just like, first of all, honored that I was given that opportunity. And yeah, I think everybody was doing their entrances and we're just like, oh my gosh, like this is so iconic. Like it's insane that this is even happening. It was such a good representation of, the past, present, and the future. So it was so cool. And watching the beautiful people, I gotta say, do their entrance. I've never seen that entrance live. So I'm in the ring, with our teammates, and I was just like, oh my God, like this is happening. Like, am I in a dream right now? Like, I don't really know what's happening. And it was so cool. Like, I was like, even like talking about it, I'm like shaking. I just love them so much.
They are amazing. Again, I think if they were to bring back, if the beautiful people were to come back, it would be a tough call for me. I would love to see the beautiful people, the three of them, obviously Angelina, Velvet, and of course the Queen Bee against yourself, Savannah, and Jay Vidal. That would be a match for the ages.
Yeah, you know what? Like everybody like actually was talking about that for the longest time, and the fans, and they were just saying, "Oh, like that'd be so cool if that happened." And actually, I think it was Angelina that said that it would have been really cool to do that because we're kind of like the beautiful people like in this generation. Like I'm not like comparing myself to that at all because like well, beautiful people. But yeah, no, I think that'd be so great if let's say the universe wants us to do that. That'd be an amazing opportunity. I think we'll just have the best time and have the most fun as well.
Absolutely amazing, amazing to see Impact 1000. If you didn't experience it, head online right now, Impact Plus, and check out an amazing two-night event, which really does just put a smile on my face every time I go back and I watch from start to end. Absolutely superb. Another thing that put a massive smile on my face was the announcement that Impact Wrestling was returning to the UK for the first time in 8 years in
Yeah.
2023. Now, this went absolutely crazy. As soon as this was announced, it was off the hook. It was blowing up the Twitter sphere. And I was lucky enough, Giselle, to be in both Glasgow and Newcastle for the shows, and I've seen every Impact Wrestling tour that they have done in the UK, and I have never experienced anything like it. It was electric. Just the queue to get into the building,
Yeah.
people were off the chart. Did you and the rest of the roster know how much anticipation, how much excitement, how much energy was around this tour that we're just wrapped up a month ago now?
So I, lived and performed in the UK for 3 years. So I had an idea of like how crazy it gets and how just amazing UK fans are. So, I when the tour got announced, I was like, oh my God, please, like I hope I'm on that tour. And second of all, like it was just, me being like, oh my God, like you're gonna have so much fun because they're just like it's a hoot. It's a hoot performing in front of the UK crowd. And yeah, no, I think that we were just so happy that it went amazing. Like, the whole entire tour was just incredible. And it was definitely, one is it one for the books? Is that the same?
That's what they say. Uh,
Yes.
I think what was also really good about the return to the UK this year was the fact it wasn't just the shows that were back. TNA Impact Wrestling fan interaction was back
Mhm.
as well. So it was the opportunity for fans to meet and greet, get up close in person with their favorite Impact Wrestling
Right.
superstars. And there was so much stuff going on before the shows as well. I know I've seen Lauren and Simon do a great job promoting Impact Wrestling over here in the UK. They've shared a lot of those behind the scenes photos on social, and there was a great tea party, I believe,
Yeah.
at the Walker Dome in Newcastle. And there was lots of cake, there was lots of cups of tea.
Yes.
How did it feel to actually? Because again, that's not something I would imagine. You wouldn't be having a tea party before a show in the States. I would imagine it's a very British thing to do.
Yes. It was like it was high tea, you know what I mean? And it's not really high tea if the quintessential diva's not there. But I was, and it was so amazing. I love high tea first and foremost. And to be able to do that, with the Impact Wrestling fans, it was just so incredible. Thank you, Lauren and Simon, for the cake. And because it was also my birthday as well at the end of the tour. So it was just really cool. I was telling everybody that it was like Impact UK tour, but also it's like my birthday celebration week. And yeah, no, it's incredible. I actually served, because I used to be a flight attendant, right? So I said, you know what, I'm gonna serve everybody some tea and some scones and whatever was in the afternoon tea. So it was really, really cool. We had fun.
Looked so good. It looked so fun. I hope those continue for the tours when we're back over here in the UK. Fingers crossed in 2024. And I suppose, well, I mean, this was a really hard one for me. I mean, obviously that was number 2 in my list of top 5 moments,
Mhm.
and it was a toss up between that and what happened after Bound for Glory at the Cicero Stadium. And I was lucky enough to speak to Scott Demore a couple of weeks ago, and I told him this at the time, and it's so true. I'm not an emotional man, Gisele. I'm passionate, I'm enthusiastic, but I'm emotional. Even on my wedding day, and I love my wedding day. It was one of the best days of my life.
Oh, bless you.
However, when I was at Bound for Glory and the announcement came that TNA wrestling was returning, I cried like a child.
Oh,
I really try. And my wife's sitting over here on the other side of the studio with me, and again, she said at the time that she's never seen me like this over anything in my life. It was amazing for me as a fan to be there, to be part of that announcement. What was
mhm.
it like in the locker room? What was it like when you found out you've been an Impact Wrestling knockout? What was it like when you found out you were going to be a TNA knockout?
You know what? Like no one really knew. Like it was a really well kept secret because no one knew at all. And we're just like, okay, cool. They said like, like stick around, because there's gonna be like an announcement at the end. And we're like, okay, yeah, like we don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. And everybody's just sitting there like, okay, cool, like come on, and uh just yeah, as soon as that, that footage um was rolling. We were like, and like everybody was just so like highly anticipating, like what is going on, like what is happening here. And I mean, I'm sure you've seen the behind the scene video, that
Hmm.
was posted online. And yeah, I feel like I don't have the words really to describe it. I feel like that video um just shows the excitement that everybody is looking forward to and feeling, and just so happy that we get to call ourselves, TNA again, and TNA knockouts. And and for me, right, like being the first ever Impact trans woman knockout, and to be the first TNA, trans woman knockout as well, it's such a great feeling. It's such an honor. It's also such a huge responsibility. And, I hope that I do it justice.
as we head into the rebrand, the relaunch of TNA, as we say, January 13th, it's going to be amazing. Of course, we were building up to it right here on the Live 107.3's Made in the Morning. It is a rebirth of the whole TNA ethos and values. And what are you looking forward to? What else could be returning in 2024? Do you think we could see the return of an all-female and all knockouts pay-per-view on Impact Plus? Do you think we'll see more of those classic performers come back, or do you think we should just be set for more surprises? What can you give us? Because I know if anyone's going to have the gossip of what is going to go into Las Vegas, it's going to be you. So just between you, me, and the listeners, what can you tell us, Gisele?
You know what? I actually don't have any information at all. I really don't. I really don't. But you know what I can tell you is that 2024 is going to be amazing for TNA wrestling, and I feel like I want everybody to join this ride, just like me too. And like, don't really know what's going to happen, but we know for a fact, and we know for certain that it's going to be amazing, and we'd love everyone to join us in this wonderful ride with us.
And it's even easier now to join that ride than ever before, because we know over in the States, obviously Access TV is where you can watch Impact, or it's to be TNA Impact, each and every week. And as of this December, it's going to be available in more homes than ever before. Huge new distribution deals being announced with TV providers all the time. So we encourage you to check your local listings and ask your cable and satellite provider to get Access TV if it's not already on there. Of course, you can also watch worldwide at Impact Plus, and here in the UK, of course, you can watch on DAZN, that Sky Channel 429. I'm just so excited about all the possibilities heading into next year, Gisele. But there's one thing that I know we will definitely be doing in 2024, and that is playing the name game. We do this with every Impact Wrestling superstar, every Impact Wrestling knockout when we get the chance. How do you fancy this? I'm going to give you 5 names, and I would like you to say the first thing that comes into your head.
Oh God. I hope my mouth, doesn't get me in trouble, because it really does sometimes.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. Do you
Okay,
ready for this? Name number
I'm
1,
ready.
Eddie Edwards.
Ooh, you know what? The heart of Impact Wrestling.
Name number 2, Jordan Grace.
Can I say Muscle Mommy?
You most definitely can. That's what she is on Instagram, and you can follow her on her
Yes,
OnlyFans as well. Yes, she is amazing. She is
yes.
amazing. Just to watch. Name number 3, Deonna Purrazzo.
I mean, she's the virtuosa for a reason. Yeah,
That is the stamp of approval coming from the Quintessential Diva. I just love that.
yes,
Love that.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Name number 4, maybe a little one from the left field here. The Swing Man, Johnny Swinger.
Las Vegas.
Name number 5, the voice of Impact Wrestling, Mr. Smooth, Tom Hannifan.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the voice. Can I say that? He's
Of
the
course.
voice, and he's so amazing, and he's so knowledgeable, and the way that he can, like, is it transcribe, wrestling and commentate is just, yeah, it's just on another level, and we love Tom.
We do love Tom. He's you know something. Tom has got it all. He can do it on camera, and you know something. We're talking about fashion before. He
Yes,
just always looks the part.
yeah, but if only he was much nicer to me on commentary, because Matthew Roywell is definitely so much nicer when he talks about me on commentary, but no, not Tom so much. So, and here I am talking nice things about him.
Sorry, we'll make sure he hears this. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, cut this clip and make sure that you at him.
So we've got Gisele Shaw playing the name game here on the Live 107.3's Med in the Morning. Gisele, thank you so very much for taking the time and looking back at my top 5 moments of Impact Wrestling in 2023. We look forward to what 2024 has in store for TNA Wrestling. And of course, if you want to find out what happens at the last Impact Wrestling special event, it goes down at Final Resolution Saturday, December 9th, exclusively on Impact Plus and Fight.tv. And we heard it, tag team action featuring Gisele Shaw and Deonna Purrazzo. It is going to be one for the books. Gisele, thank you so very much.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, and hopefully talk to you soon.
Old wounds, the scars of time, all must be resolved before we can move forward, before we can become
TNA Wrestling!
To grow is to change. To evolve is to change often. Impact Wrestling presents Final Resolution live December 9th on Impact Plus.